Okay, we continue with the search engine optimization. It's actually the optimization of your web visibility to the search engine. For example, if you open the Google website and then you search for something, so what is come up in the first page? So that means the SEO is good for that website. So that means the website have a good ranking. So um, some features inside a content management system such as a Drupal, WordPress, or Joomla. They have this some uh, a function or maybe an extension, okay, that can be used for analytic for analysis, for optimizing, so that the website is visible to all. Okay, just like a shop, if you want to sell something, okay, you must have this tendency so that people will come to your store. Okay, how do you want people come to store? You offering something, you have a good product, okay, it is visible to all so that people have the tendency to come to your shop. This is the same thing. Okay, the clarity or order accountability, I already explained this. It's enable the clear communication, help get your website in order, provide web for accountability, trusted, reliability, and availability. So this is the content of your web page, of your website. Okay, you don't it's different with the scam website, or it's different with the um, a bad or dark web. Is that a different thing? Okay, so you should have a clear or the clarity of the content and put it in a good order, and then accountability so that you can be used, so IA can be used to fulfill all of these things. Okay, the consequences or the drawback of poor IA. So it's going to make information hard to understand. Okay, when your topic is jumbling around, there is inconsistency. For example, topic 1 is not related to subtopic 1. Okay, for example, for the rental car, the topic 1 is a sedan and the subtopic is a boat. Okay, with 4 passengers, for example. So that is when the IA, okay, is not put in the right place. It's going to slow down the users. Okay, users will lose mood, or tendency, okay, to continue, okay, hovering or exploring your website. It's to prevent users from achieving objective. And sometimes uh, if you browse something, for example, you want to find about CMS content, and then suddenly you have all of this misinformation uh, in the website that you visit, and lastly, maybe it going to lead you to a shopping website, for example, and then when you go to shopping website, okay, you try to spend all your time there. So the objective of your first initial objective to find about CMS, and suddenly you end up buying clothes or jeans in a shopping website. So that is a poor of IA, the consequences, the drawback. Reduce the search engine visibility. Okay, uh, search engines such as Google and Google.com, they have this some algorithm that crawling the information, and then structured the information, and then organize and do the analytics. If the algorithm find out that your content is not well organized, it's going to put you in the last page of the search engine, or maybe they exclude your website from their database of the search engine. So that is a very bad thing, because your website going not have visitors in the future. Okay, it's going to increases the site abandonment. Okay, it's just like a ghost town. Okay, your web page or your website is going to be a ghost town where people not visit you anymore. Okay, you keep updating something, but there is no visitors. It seems like your shop, but there is no buyers. So it's going to increase website abandonment, and then reduce access to the information. So reduce access to information when the IA is not there. You are not implementing IA, so your content is it's not very difficult to access. People lost. Okay, they don't have this understand of your web content. I know the static web content is very straightforward, but nowadays people try to navigate to what they want. Okay, that is some consequences of this uh, poor IA. So let's do this. The IA, the first part is organization system. So we're going to see what is the scheme and what is the structures. Okay, so the scheme define the shared characteristic of content item and influence the grouping of those items. We put it in a same level of information, so that is, we call it an information scheme or the organization system scheme. For the structured, define the type of relation between content items and group. I hope you understand this. Okay, scheme is the same level. Structured, we have categories or topic with the subtopic, but it can be interrelated in that group. Okay, that is the structures. Okay, let's see. Okay. I already explained this. Okay, group similar things together. Scheme shows how those groups are related. Okay, if you not find this, okay, let's see, you have all of these facts. We have 20 facts. And then if you put it all together, okay, people will lost. Okay, people don't want to read fact 1 to fact 20. Maybe you just want to browse for fact 13, for example, and then what is inside the fact 13. Okay, what is the subtopic? So if you put something like this and not organized, okay, people don't have any spirit or any sense of continuing reading your web page. Okay, and then we organize this, assuming that all of these facts, 19, 15, 13, 14, and 8, falls under same category. Okay, we structured this, so that is the organization, and we call it group related things. It's forming the group in terms of the way users think. So how you want to make how do you want to know user think that way? So you need to do some investigation, do some analytical studies. That is why we have this circle of improvement. We set a new goal. We find or we measured, okay, what people visit most, and then we try to improve your content and then set a new goal. So that is the circles of maintaining a good content. Okay, now for each group we have a given name, group A through E. So we have a 5 group. Okay, we have a 5 group. Why we need to have this name or label? Because we try to give a user the general idea what all the fact is belong to which cluster, which group. Okay, so you need to name that. Okay, for example, okay, For example, if you see a yellow pages now, we don't have that yellow pages because um, so you're not seeing the yellow pages anymore. Okay, if you go to the telecom booth, you know this. What is the yellow pages? The yellow pages is a structure organization of information of phone number. It's order by alphabetical. That is the structure of manage the organization of the yellow pages. So what is the scheme? We divided into several topics. For example, rental car, for example, universities or higher education, health and care. So that is the scheme. For example, another example is the grocery stores. Okay, what is a scheme? Food categories, food tasks. Okay, a structure, complex, unclear. Where would you find? Okay, if you go to the grocery stores, we have a lot of um, things. Okay, a lot of things, and we don't know which part being good organized or not. Okay, if you go to Tesco, for example, they have this scheme by grouping. For example, a wet product, okay, a fresh fruit, for example, the electric division, okay, the stationery division, okay. So that is how they organize. Even though somehow in the different store have different place for the things that you want to find. Okay, but it's still seller try to group this into several group that easy for the customer to find the product. So that is the example, the two example that can give you um, for organizing the content of your web page, and the idea how we try to group everything into several groups. Okay, for organization scheme, we have three major types. We have exec group, okay, and then we have ambiguous. Ambiguous means that we don't know which part is belong, and maybe it falls under which categories. For example, let's say let's say mm, let's say a pen, okay, a pen ataupun a chart, or a pen, maybe it can use for wall uh, wall painting, and maybe it used for um, paper painting, but it is still whether it is under groceries, sorry, it is under stationery, or it is goes to hardware. Okay, and we have this hybrid, okay, where some item is belong to several categories. Okay, each has its own benefit, drawback, and uses. Okay, technically, what you are doing to customizing or arranging all of these content is depend on your plan, but somehow it's also depend in the opinion of users. But people, each individual have a different opinion and perspective. So we just take the general thing, so we put together based on the majority of people. All right. Okay, the exact organization scheme, okay, divide information into well-defined, mutually exclusive section. Easy to find, support non-item searching, require user to have detailed information. That is the meaning of exact, tepat, precise. So it's easy to define and maintain. Let's see for the exact organization scheme. We have alphabetical. This is just an example. Okay, we have chronological. Chronological is by date, and then we have geographical. Orders content based on a place, shopping mall, and diagram. So this is exact organization scheme. So let's go for the ambiguous. Okay, divide information into categories that defy exact definition. Describe organization situation where there is more than one reasonable way to group this thing. For example, supermarket. Okay, I already explained before this. Okay, we don't know. Okay, some of the item is belong to stationery, but some of the item is belong to um, electric or computer product. You see some of the items for such as A4 paper, it goes under stationery, but some of the A4 paper also, okay, is put under the electric and computer division. Okay, why this is happened? Because it is belong to those scheme. So what is the good? What is the good practice? Okay, the good practice is, okay, somehow we put a good A4 paper for printing, and maybe some A4 paper we put inside a stationery. It depends on how you manage and subdivide all of this category. Okay, the features of ambiguous is difficult to define and support browsing by user with no immediate goal or with a vague information. So that is the ambiguous organization scheme. Hopefully you understand the meaning of ambiguous, ambiguity. Skeptic, we don't know, is this item belong to A or B? So that is an ambiguous. Okay, let's see the example. Okay, we have a topical and task oriented. Okay, topic and task oriented, normally we put some into a process, a collection of process, function, and task, and then topical is based on the topic. Okay, the third one is audience specific, used when there are two or more clearly defined audience for a website. Example, like these two, you can visit and you see whether this is support 2 language and this is support 8 language. So that means audience specific. For example, if you go to booking.com, okay, if you booking.com, and it going to be interpret with your organization or your place, so it going to be transferred to booking.my, for example. So that is for Malaysia. If you go to the actual website and then they transfer it into your geolocation, so that is we considered as an audience specific. Okay, the website itself, the CMS itself have dispatchers to know based on your IP address you are belong to which region or which country, and then they transfer you to the website. Okay, for example, Amazon. Okay, Amazon, there is a book only marketable to North America, and then some of the books only available to Europe, and some of the book is available internationally. So when you are come from Malaysia, when you go to Amazon.com under a bookstore, they're going to transfer you to Amazon.my, for example, and then you have all of these available purposely for Malaysian market. So that is the audience specific. Okay, the next one is a metaphor driven. Used to help users to relate to the unfamiliar, shows group by a visual metaphor. Not many examples because it is difficult to find metaphors that will work with all users. Okay, this is it is a metaphor driven. So that means your content is dragged based on the somehow like a visual metaphor. They not use a content, but they use a visual, a picture, or maybe some music, or anything that going to drive you to which content. But it is still define it as a ambiguous. So what is the problem? Okay, let's see this. Is it a cat, a mouse, or a hamster? So what do you think? All right. So what is the problem? Okay, we don't know. Okay, maybe for me, I said it is a rat. Some of you may be familiar with hamster. Okay, you're gonna interpret this as a hamster, and somehow for those who are magically never meet or never see rat or hamster, maybe you said, oh, this is a cute cat. See, so that is the problem with the metaphor driven. So they try to attract you with visual or picture or animation, but somehow maybe bring you to the different location or attention. So that is make it ambiguous. Right, the last one is the hybrid. Okay, blending element of variety of organization scheme into one. Okay, see these two things. This is a bad library listing. You just put all of this thing whether in this group, but this one we have a main group, and then we have a subgroup or maybe a sub content. So the yellow one is better than a gray one. So this is how you want to organize. But what is the meaning of hybrid? Okay, some of the topics, for example, it can be belong to the age group, and it is belong to the topics. For example, a science for a teen, science for youth. So that is the meaning of hybrid. Okay. Okay, organization. All right. That is organization scheme. So we look what is the structure. Okay, now the structure of information define the ways in which users can navigate. Okay, the main organization structures are hierarchy, hypertext, or database. Okay, if you read this thing, okay, maybe you don't know what it is. So hypertext, maybe you know. Database, maybe you know. And hierarchy mean we have this certain level of organizing data. Okay, you already experienced this. Okay, but you don't know what is the hierarchy, what is the hypertext, and what is database organization structure. Okay, each of structure has its strength and weakness. Let's see what is the hierarchy. It's a top-down, parent-child. If you remember when you are learning object-oriented programming, we have a parent-child relationship. We have hierarchical structure. Okay, we have object. Okay, users are familiar with hierarchy so that they are quickly and easily to understand. For example, the car rental. Okay, I want to rental a car, and then I go to car, and then we have two doors car, we have a small car, we have a mid-sized car, and then I want to rent a mid-sized car, and I click to mid-sized car. So that is the familiar, because this is how we do every day, whether it is online or offline. Okay, the nature of the life is a top down. Okay, I'm as a lecturer, and under me 60s of student, and then maybe sometime I want you to create a group. So each group have 5 members. So each group is subcategories, or child to me, and then each group have 5 members, and all of that 5 members is a child of the each group. So that is the parent-child communication. This is the hierarchical organization. So that is the example. The left one is a narrow and deep, and the right one is broad and shallow. So which one is good? It's depend on your content. Okay, there is no right or wrong. So if your content is much readable and useful, you can use a broad and shallow. But if your content need a narrow and deep, okay, you can use this. It's depend. But we have this two type of hierarchy, and this is some of the hierarchy organization chart. Example, I already give you an example just now about the group, me, and a group project. And then we have this is example. We have president, or maybe we have marketing. We have marketing officer. We have marketing supervisors, and then we have manufacturing. We have engineer. We have whatever things that can be underneath of this parent or child. So remember, this is the same thing. So A, okay, is a child of research, and research is a child of a president. Okay. So this is how the hierarchy being used. So designing hierarchies, we have a breadth and depth. Okay, breadth mean we have some categories that have a same level. Okay, but if it's more than 10 options on the main menu, can be overwhelm user. Okay, you have only one category, but that category have this more than 10, for example 15 of them. Okay, like this. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 is still reasonable. How about you have all of these things like 20? It's not a good organized, and then you don't have any child, or you don't have any sub hierarchy, sub level, for example. So that is not a good practice. So depth, if users are forced to click through more than 4 or 5 levels, they may give up and leave. Okay, this is what happened now. Okay, we have menu, and then we go to the sub menu, and then we go to the sub menu, and then we force again a user to go sub menu, and then user will lost. It's also not a good practice, but we have this good practice by brace. It's not more than 10, and then the depth is it's not more than 5 levels. Okay, for me, the good thing is around 3 and 4. 3 is very sufficient enough. You just hovering from menu, okay, sub menu, and then sub menu, and then you find the content. Okay, that makes your readers happy. Okay. Okay, let's see what is the hypertext organization structure. This thing, okay. Okay, this thing, you need to differentiate between sitemap in the hypertext organization structure. Okay, the hypertext system means the content are connected via link and a loose web of relationship. This is the old Microsoft Word help, where it's very easy for user to navigate based on this plus, and then sub categories, and then sub, and then it's navigate easily. So if you see all of these content of the web browser, not web browser, a web content, it's just this: a menu, a sub menu, and a sub menu, and then the content. All right. So database organization structure is a collection of record, each of which has a number of associated fields. It is a bottom-up approach to design. Okay, this is database driven mean you pull out of the content based on the data that you stored in the database. Okay, I know what you are doing now. Okay, most of the web content is database driven. Okay, for me, right now there is no such a static and very straightforward pages for online content. Yeah, for example, if you use a CMS Joomla, okay, your content is upload into database. That is why we need a MySQL, and then MySQL is stored inside the um, Apache web server. And how the database is communicate between users and the server. So we have the intermediary. What is the intermediary? The PDO, the project, uh, the database object, okay, MySQLi, okay, that using PHP to communicate between the SQL and the users. So the web page that being uh, using PHP will enable the communication between users and into the database and backward, okay, forward and backward. Okay, for example, an electronic library catalog. Okay, we have title, author, subject, keyword to locate individual record. So this is database organization structure. Actually, anything that's stored in the database. Okay, anything that's stored in the database. We have the bottom-up approach, and then how the database driven based on the front end and back end communication. In our example, okay, in our class, I'm using this XAMPP, whereby we have a server, we have a interpreter, PHP that's going to communicate between the HTML or any scripting to the database between users and the database itself. So that is a database organization structure. We have three organization structure, and then we have three scheme. Okay, what is this? Okay, this is actually a CMS. Okay, this is proprietary for mudah.my. If you are registered as a valid user of mudah.my, you can upload, you can advertise your item for sale. So this is under the cast for sale a structure. Okay, we have, for example, we have menu. Okay, we have sub menu. We have what do you want to find, a car, for example. Okay, we have what product name or brand, for example, like Proton, and then we have this subcategories and very subcategories, and then you do search. So why this is need? Why this is need? We're going to discuss on searching. Okay, people don't have time to browse scattered information. Remember all of the 20 fact that I show you just now, and when you put all the things together in one place, not organizing it, so user will left the web page because they don't achieve their objective. So they go to another website, for example, charika.com.my, whatever alternative website. If the current website that user visit is not meet their objective. Okay, this is a database example. So navigation system. A good navigation system have exploration orientation. The page must indicate its location within the site, so it's gonna lead users to what they seek and informs about the availability, product and service task. So this is how you serve your audience, how you serve your users by giving a good navigation from A and then go to a sub A and then go to sub and sub A, so they find the information, or maybe another topic, a subtopic, as long as the navigation is smooth, the user reach what they try to find and happy, and then they're going to visit again. So you must have this psychological approach or management approach to organize your content. Okay, this is an example. We have breadcrumb primary navigation. Okay, it's clickable, and then we have a secondary navigation, and then we have a in-page link. In-page link means anything that have a link inside the content. Okay, we have a left menu, and some of the website we have a left and right menu, and then have a three division part, but most probably we have all of this breadcrumb or top menu. So the top menu is considered as a primary navigation, where each of these going to be have this drop down list, and then we have another drop down list. But if it's more, okay, when it's more than 5, it's not good. If this primary navigation is more than 10, it's also not good. So you need to find a way how to make it less than 10 and less than 4.5 for level. Okay, so that is the navigation. So built-in navigational features. Okay, the good about the CMS, it have this built-in navigational features. So you don't need to put extra programming. You just organize that. Okay, organize that. I will try to show this using Joomla. Okay, using Joomla, where you can create all of the link. Maybe for the first time, it's quite difficult for you, but as a web technology student, okay, web technology student, the bachelor's in web technology, okay, this is not a good problem because it's not a problem for you. Sorry, it's not a problem for you because you already learned a few courses before this course. Okay, the purpose of navigation system is providing the context. The user must have a good idea of what the page fits into the overall site, the context, and then we have the flexibility. Okay, people have this a freedom or opportunity to browse or to navigate to another places of another location, but within the same website. So we have three types: structural, associative, and utility. The structural type is connect one page to another based on the hierarchy of the site. On any page, you are expected to be able to move the page above it and page below it. So that is the structural. It's a link. Actually, it's a link from a page to another based on the hierarchy. In other words, it's sub to the sub menu. And then the associative, however, in associative, we connect pages with a similar topic and content, okay, regardless of their location in the site. Okay. It's tend to cross a structural boundaries. For example, I don't know whether this is good or not, associative, but maybe they put a link. For example, you read about general things of car, and then we are talking about petrol car, we're talking about diesel car, but actually you try to find a hybrid car or electric car, and then they put inside inside the content. Okay, you also this is also the same thing, but why not you go to hybrid or electric car? So they have this a link, internal link, same structure link, so that is navigate to another group, from petrol, diesel to hybrid. And then the third one is utility. It's connect pages and purchase that help people use the site itself. This may lie outside the main hierarchy of the site, and their only relation to one another is their function. So utility mean if you click something, okay, it's going to navigate into maybe a pop-up menu, maybe a function to fill in the form. So that is the utility. So that means each page, okay, we have this link. The link provide a services to to the user or to the audience. Okay, suddenly, okay, they are still in the car website, for example, and then the user browse this car, and then how much the insurance for this car, and how much the market value of this car. So you have this utility link that people can click and then do the requisition. For example, fill in all the information about the car, and how do you want to insure, okay, how many and how much amount that you want to cover, and then the user have this general idea. Okay, that is the utility. So that is the type of navigation system. We have structural, associative, and utility. So that is the idea. Okay, that is the idea. Okay, the structural, like this, the associative within the same level, and the utilities is served to all of this. Okay, why it is not connected, the utilities? Because utilities can be inside any page. Can be inside any page. We serve a user. So this figure actually explaining three of these. Okay. Remember, for me, it's easy for me to remember when I see this figure, instead of memorizing this three definition. Okay. Lucky for you, this semester still online exam, but there is no such a question like list three types of navigation system. No, I'm going to give you a case study, and then you need to peel off the fruits and then give me the answer and related it to what you learn. Okay, type of navigation element. Normally, okay, we have navigation bar at the top bar, and then we have a pull down menu. That is the normal navigation of element. We have a frame. Frames is outdated. Nobody, it's not nobody. It's not it is not responsive anymore. But if you want to embed, for example, a YouTube, you can use frame, because we try to attach something outside from your web page into your web page. So we going to frame. We call it iframe. And then all of this thing is considered as the integrated navigation element. And then we have a remote navigation element where complement other navigation system, such as a table of content, index, or sitemap. Okay, all of these things. Okay, please know what is index, what is the sitemap. Okay, index normally is the front page or the main page of the website, and the sitemap is the structure. Okay, is the structure of your web pages. You may Google what is the sitemap. Okay, I normally go to the sitemap so I can get a general idea what is the web page all about, instead of I'm navigate from one menu to another. So building a navigation system. Okay, theoretically, all of this thing is theoretically. It used the information hierarchy as the primary navigation system. And remember the first diagram that I show you, top-down approach or parent-child approach. So we call it an hierarchy. Okay, from that you have idea how to organize your menu or the navigation. Okay, the major categories in the hierarchy become the global navigation of system. Global mean the overall, and the overall navigation of system. For example, it's the main topic, and then we have a subtopic as a child, and we have another subtopic of the child. It's depend on what layer that you want to organize your information, but still follow the best practice where the same scheme is maximum 10, and the level is maximum of 4 to 5. So the local navigation will depend on the choices made in the global system. So the local and global. Global is top, local is a sub, is a child, and then what local navigation still depend on the choices made in the global system. Okay, in other words, this is a hierarchy level. Okay, it's a hierarchy level where your top will your child or the local navigation is a child that have a similar capacity or similarity with the top of the hierarchy, right? The site size and goal will determine what other navigation system are required. So it's depend on what content do you want to build. It's content you want to build. So for your project, I will do the assessment based on this thing. Okay, how you organize your menu. Okay, how you manage your content. Okay, it's very subjective, but as long as it's not crazy enough, I mean, make me lost to navigate. Okay, so that means your website don't have this good navigation and structure system. And above all, test your navigation on users and pay attention to the result. Remember this, the improvement cycle. So you need to do, okay, maybe when you discuss with your team, you think that is the best for you, but it is not the best for others. Remember in your final year project as well, okay, you need to have these consultation hours or negotiation hours. You need to spend time to do survey and to ask the prospect users, okay, how they want to be, because we don't want to build something that focus on your need, and we try to build something that focus on all users need. Okay, we are a service provider, so we need to entertain all of the users. So that is the same thing in this building the navigation system. So the next one is label. Okay, label represent a chunk of information. They can be at the heading or links. They are close tied to navigation. And for this reason, they must be meaningful, representative, and consistent. Okay. So see these two. Okay, see these two. We have unplanned list and we have a better list. So which one do you think it is better? Of course, the right one. Because we organize into office project and maybe we have something in between. Okay, people will easily navigate and this thing. So what is the labeling? Okay, this one. Okay, project. Okay, all of this thing is under project. Project 1999, K-12, PDN project, digital library project. So you know this all the thing is project. Instead of this one, which one is the project? Okay, which one is the project? So this is the unplanned list. So how do you label this? How do you organize this? Okay, this is, we call it a labeling system. So what is the difference between navigation and labeling system? Okay, navigation labels are created during the design of the navigation system. You need to review them for clarity and consistency. When possible, use what stand exists. Main page, home page, search, find, browser. The name of the navigation. It is how many words? The maximum is actually 4 to 5 words for the maximum. You don't have any label that more than that. Let's see. This one, all of the level. This one is 1, 2, 3, 3. Most of them is this one just 2. Okay, you don't have any level that have more than 5. For example, Office for Instructional Technology, for University Tun Hussein on Malaysia, for, and then, oh no, that is not a label. That is paragraph now. So that is the labeling system. So indexing label. Indexing label are crucial to the site, usually found in the meta tag used by search engine, should be descriptive and representative of the site purpose. For example, clearinghouse.net. So you can visit this website and see what is the indexing label are. Indexing label mean they organize all of the label through indexing and meta tag. Okay, meta tag. You use a meta description. Let's see if we have this or not. Okay, no, we don't have that. Meta tag, description, a keyword, all of these things used for indexing level. So link label appeared within the text or pages. You use a few words and have this hypertext link, go to another navigation process or navigation page or another page, whether it is associative, straightforward or not. And then we have a heading label, condensed into 1 to 3 words, a meaning of entire paragraph or pages. Most of this thing is quite similar. This is the main part of the label. We call it a heading label. We have iconic label. What is this? Iconic label is something that you hover and then you know it is clickable and it goes to or navigate to another content. Okay, you need to use a few icon, stick to the simple graphics and then user friendly and have this human computer interaction element where people shows that icon is clickable. Okay, you don't know which one is clickable. Okay, but most of the time they have this arrow icon, we have this finger point icon. Okay, maybe we have a small words like click me. So that is the iconic label. So the last one is search. What kind of search do people do? Okay, when you use CMS, for example, when you post something, when you post an article, okay, you can put a keyword inside the post article. So the keyword can be driven into a database, and we have this function or this algorithm or this or features or an extension, maybe other than the template itself, to organize all of these keyword, and then people can search through this keyword. So what kind of search do people do? The non-item searching, the existence searching, exploratory searching, and comprehensive searching. Okay, non-item searching, you just type it in the search bar. Existing searching, drop-down searching. For example, like mudah.my. Okay, we have these years, maybe we list out from 1945 to 2021. We have a well-branded car, a Mercedes-Benz, Mazda, Honda, Proton, Pro2, whatever it is. Exploratory searching, when you have this navigational type of searching. Okay, this one, and then let's say from A, or what inside is A, and maybe A.1, A.2, and the comprehensive searching, we have all of this thing, all of this filtering from, for example, for the car, we have year, we have anything, so that it narrow down the option and will give the precise information that may be useful for the audience. So many of these searches also involve browsing. For this reason, searching and browsing must be integrated. To search or not to search. When not to make your site searchable, it contains only a few well-labeled documents. Its purpose is to be a patch for a badly designed browsing system, and there is no time to maintain the search engine. For example, if your website is a single page, maybe 2 to 3 pages, and have this navigation and good label, no need for you to put a search bar. Okay, that is it's not really useful to put a search. But when you have a big content of your web page, searchable or search uh, engine itself inside your web page is necessary. Okay, you know, you can integrate search engine into your web page. Google have this API or have this iframe or all of these function that you can attach in your website, so that it can display the result for your web page. Okay. Right, we come up with the conclusion. So the good website keep the purpose of the site clear and focused. Okay, if you want to put information about electronic products, electronic product is too many now. If you want to put information on education, okay, maybe some college, so just focus on that. No need to mix up with other niche or another content. Don't do that. Okay, make it easy for the user to find what they need. So the navigation and labeling process, proper use of color and graphic. You need to have theme. So this is the problem with your development. If you do a group project, what I can see so far is you try to give individual tasks to different people, and then you don't have any communication. You just assign and then you put all the things together. Okay, student A with a web page that have a theme of purple color, and then student B have this theme with the red color, and then you combine it, and then different font, and then different icon. So it seems like you're wearing a shoes, but the left one is Adidas and the right one is Nike. You're wearing a socks. The left one is black and the right one is white. So it's not good, right? Okay. Make your site adaptable to different users. So what do you mean by different users? It's maybe there is no age boundaries, and the first and foremost is responsive, right? Because we have all of these digital gadget such as tab, handphone, computer, and then desktop computer, laptop, that have this different size of page or display. So your web must be responsive and then consistent in your design. This is like the thing that I said before, when you're wearing left shoes is Adidas and the right shoes is Nike. Okay, so today's discussion we already cover these four things, and this is the part B of the introduction of content management system, which is information architecture. All right, thank you and assalamu alaikum.